I'll have to investigate to see if this accusation is true.
which is the right thing to
Therefore,
do.
Max, I'm obliged to contact your parents and suspend you for a few days.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Now, this is where it turns into fucking bullcrap. No, you don't. You have no obligation to do anything. Nothing. And you know why? Because it's a wild accusation from David Madsen out of fucking nowhere. Now, sure. See, I'm not sure they have dorm checks, but here's the thing they should do, right? So David Madsen throws that out. Number one, that's a load of crap. Because he should know that Chloe is more the smoker of drugs than Max is. He should already instantly know that by the fact that, Chloe, the joint's there, and then, yeah, he obviously already knows that Chloe does it. And that's what the whole thing came out before, like before the storm, when you had that thing. And, you like comply with emptying your pockets and everything. Here is what you should do, right? You should investigate the accusation, because that's your job, which is fine. But you have no grounds to throw a suspension out of nowhere. And you know why? Because it hasn't been proven to be true yet. You can't suspend her. You've got no grounds to do that. Here's what you should do. You should investigate it totally. Now, this is 2013, right? This is 2013. We have all sorts of machines and decent machinery. Drug test her. Drug test Max Caulfield. If that is a serious accusation that you want to take seriously, and you have every right to do that, drug test her. Don't suspend her on the spot, because it's not true yet. That's, at this stage, that is nothing more than an accusation from David. Nothing more than an accusation that hasn't even proven to be true yet. Drug test her, search her dorm from top to bottom, and get some verification on it. If that turns out to be the case, then suspend her. But that's the thing. And then if she's not taking drugs, if the thing reveals that she's not taking drugs, then you should have a word with David again. And David, you have even more grounds to fire his ass. You have no obligation to suspend Max over an accusation. You have the right to investigate it. And that's the right thing to do. Investigate it. But you don't have any grounds to suspend her on the spot. Not without a drugs test. Not without searching her dorm. Not without anything. This is 2013. You have all sorts of great machinery at Blackwell to drug test people. Do a drugs test. Send her to a hospital if you have to. And give her a drugs test. And if that came out to be true, which it wouldn't because Max never did it, then suspend her. I applaud Principal Wells for taking it seriously, because that is a thing that shouldn't be allowed on campus, and they make a big thing about it all around the school. Don't take drugs. But there's no proof that Max took it. It's a wild accusation from out of nowhere. Surely you would think, as principal, if I was principal, I would think, right, so that doesn't really fit with Max's character. Max has never been known to take drugs before. Sounds a bit weird. But I'm not going to suspend her on the spot. I'm going to wait until she's been drug tested and we searched her dorm, and then we're going to act. There's no reason to suspend Max. Because you did the thing that makes the most sense at the time, you get in trouble for that bullshit just because you didn't say to Principal Wells that Nathan had a gun when you knew the principal was never going to take that seriously because it involved Nathan fucking Prescott. You know what I mean? It's bollocks. It's absolute bollocks. He has no right to... But that's the thing. That's the thing I brought up with the whole Chloe and everything. When Chloe and Before the Storm, it's the same thing. He just wants to throw out... He wants to throw Chloe out. He acts... He does the right thing, but then acts the wrong way about it. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, right to investigate it, but no right to just instantly suspend Max on the basis of no proof and something that sounds like a wild accusation. He should have investigated it more thoroughly and then acted. On the same day. Do it all in the same day. You have the machinery, you have the means to search her dorm to do so. And then if she is taking drugs, you can suspend her and do whatever you want. And of course it would come out that Max wasn't abusing drugs. So that would throw David Madsen even more into the shitter, and he would definitely be fired. But David has no proof of that either. He's just, now David has a second reason to be suspended or fired, you know? That kind of wild accusation could land you even with the sack or a suspension. David has just struck out twice. But apparently Principal Wells can throw out a suspension like that, apparently, without going through any proper procedure, which means the principal is not doing his fucking job. People in Blackwell Academy are shit at their jobs. They are. They're shit at their jobs. Wells is a douchebag all out anyway. I mean, I will give him credit for probably not knowing the whole extent of Kate's situation and for investigating that kind of accusation that David throws out, which is fine, but he surely there must have been a procedure, dude. Why are you suspending Max on the spot? You have no right. You have no obligation at all. Investigate it, drug test her, search her dorm, and it'll come out that Max isn't doing that, and David Madsen is just going around throwing accusations around, and he'll be even more in hot water. He should be fired on the grounds of not following health and safety anyway, but that'll be even more a reason. If he wasn't on thin water before the accusation, and then that turns out not to be true, he'd be fucking fired on the spot. But Principal Wells doesn't know about that kind of procedure. That should be a procedure. There's no right there's no right to suspend Max. There's absolutely no fucking right whatsoever. None. He has no right to do that. He's just doing it on the basis of some fucking accusation that come out of nowhere.
Excuse me. I think Max.
I'm sorry. I had to rant about that shit.
A student just tried to kill herself.
It's ridiculous. No one here does their job or gives a shit. Only Max does.
I'd like to be with my family.
I'm not.
All right, Miss Caulfield.
Look, I'm not saying if that was true that Max should have a free pass just because she saved a fellow student, right? I'm not saying that. But at least Wells should have investigated it. He said he would investigate it. If you're going to investigate it, fine. But that still doesn't give you a right to suspend Max on the spot. And, like I said, if they investigate it and they find out that Max is taking drugs and got drugs in her dorm and everything, that gives them no free pass just because she saved a student. They'll probably be a bit lenient, but if you're going to be serious about your job, then you have to take that seriously. Just because she saved a fellow student shouldn't mean she should get a free pass just because she's doing something against the school curriculum. You know, I'm not saying she should get a free pass for it. Absolutely not. But the principal's not doing the right thing. He's suspending her on the spot.
To confirm what you've told us, I'll continue this investigation from there.
He's suspending her on the spot.
But I think I can
without actually investigating the entire matter, which he has no right to do. You're jumping the gun. You're doing right by investigating it. See, he said, oh, I'll have to investigate to see if this accusation is true. Fine, but don't suspend Max on the spot because of it. Makes no fucking sense. It's wrong. You shouldn't do that without a thorough investigation. This is 2013. This is the era of technology, right? Blackwell is big on its technology now. So surely you have drug tests and machines to test for drugs and shit.
I wish I had the power to change it all for the better. So thank you for coming in.
The only thing I can give Wells credit for is that he's doing the right thing by investigating it, but then he blows it by suspending Max on the spot for no reason. There isn't a reason yet. It's right to be investigated, but that's about it. Investigate it then. Drug test her. Search her dorm. Do that shit. And then you'll find out that it's a lie and David Madsen's throwing accusations around, which will give you more grounds to fire him. Though you should have fired him on the spot anyway for not following health and safety regulations.
Max,
sorry.
That was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Ever.
Like I said, guys, if you think I have talked in before the storm,
like a
that's just a sample of it.
Look at me. I'm a mess.
You're glowing. Seriously, a human halo. I'm pretty sure you're.
He's literally raining praise down on Max at the moment.
I'm so worried about Kate. She did try to kill herself. all over a video.
Viral is the right word. Like a disease.
So you watched it.
Just one. And a half times.
You dick.
Warren, I don't mean to sound weird, but there's something ominous going on at Blackwell.
Today proves that.
And I'm working on proof that Kate Marsh is connected to Rachel Amber. Somehow.
I don't think there's
along
nothing
with
connecting
Nathan
the
and
two.
Mr.
I mean,
Madsen.
I'm not
but then
a big
again, maybe there
conspiracy
is.
guy, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Because the
Nathan did scare me
situations they end up
yesterday,
in
and
are
Madsen
similar.
is a straight up dickhead. So, what do you think is really happening?
David should know that Max doesn't
What
do
the hell
drugs.
is this?
I mean, he's not been around for quite a long time, which
Weather
is fair, but
confirms this
you know, he's
weird
already
pain.
been with her for 3 weeks
I feel that
with
chill.
no sign of drugs
Max, there was
whatsoever.
no eclipse scheduled today. I would know. I would.
Principal Wells did the right thing by investigating it, but not
believe
suspending
you,
on the
Warren.
spot. There's no reason to.
I'll believe anything this week.
And that's bullshit. Are you telling me there's no procedure to drug testing a student to see if an accusation is true? Because you can't base suspending it on word of mouth. Surely not. But yeah, David should be just fucking fired, dude. Not only for like throwing around a wild I think he was. I think he might have been actually. I'm not sure, but it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. Seriously. It's absolute nonsense. But surely you have drug testing equipment and all that shit. Surely you have that. God damn it. Everyone here is just so fucked up. No one does their job here. No one does their fucking job. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rant about that. I needed to get that off my chest. I thought that ever since the first playthrough I did. It's complete bollocks though. Seriously. Glad you're okay, Nugget. God damn it. And like I said, Max shouldn't get a free pass if she was on drugs because she saved a student. That shouldn't give her a free pass for anything. But at this point, all that is an accusation from your security guard, who's probably on thin ice anyway for not following health and safety procedures. Kelly and Lynn. I wish I knew what the other names were. I don't know if they ever revealed them. I'll keep my eye on it. Because for some reason, I just think Samantha might have been... Well, no. Actually, maybe not. Maybe Samantha left before it all kicked off. Maybe. Now that I'm really thinking about it. It's just Nathan's involvement in the whole thing that kind of made me think that in the first place. But yeah, there we go. So like I said, 0 to 60 in like light speed. It's just so dumb. It's just so stupid. No one here does their fucking job correctly, dude. Like I said, David should be fired. He should be fucking let go on the spot. He broke health and safety procedure. He put a student's life in ever more danger, dude. If Kate had died, if Kate had jumped and died from that, that's another grounds to fire David. David's in hot water from here on out. Seriously, he's on hot water. And maybe that's why he tries to drop Max in the shit. because he knows he's on hot water, but he's like, oh, if I reveal that Max is on drugs, even though she's clearly not, and I know she's not. Because, no, dude. Chloe has the history of drugs. Max doesn't. I'm not saying, you know, just because she doesn't have a history of drugs doesn't necessarily mean she'll be on it when she gets there, but it was like I said about Joyce. Like, Joyce would know that Max isn't a drug taker. She's been around Max long enough to know. Seriously, it's bullshit. But he just has no right to suspend Max. Well, principal has no right to suspend her yet. It's an accusation. It's not fact. That's the thing. It's when David says that, he doesn't say it as a matter of fact, like, oh, you can't. She's taking and selling dope. Yeah, right, because, you know, someone would know. You know, someone would surely know. You know, with the amount of security what David wants to put in the place. The thing is, David, the extra security wouldn't have worked in the Rachel ambush situation. It wouldn't have saved Rachel. Because, like, well, I say save Rachel, but it wouldn't have found Rachel. It wouldn't have been clues to her disappearance. I say saved. But you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have helped in Rachel ambush situation, because what happens is it's away from the school. Because what's going on is, and the people that are involved are sort of smart in how they do it. They do it away from the school grounds. You know? It's just complete shit. And, you know, David is the head of security, so that makes it worse. So that implies that David should know what he's fucking doing. Lapse in concentration. He was so busy spying on Kate, an absolute angel that wouldn't hurt anybody. He was so busy doing that shit that he didn't lock the fucking doors. Pathetic. The guy, if anyone should be fucking suspended or fired, it should be David. And I know David, he turns out to be a nice guy. You know, he's a nice guy. He's not totally, he's an idiot for what he does, but he's not a bad guy in all this. He's not. But he's an idiot. He was so fucking paranoid and so in Kate Marsh's personal space and her, like, fucking spying on her that he didn't lock the fucking doors. What an idiot. And that's the thing. Max has that. You know, Max has grounds to ring the police, get them round, and then they'll find all the fellows David's been hiding. So David should be thrown out by everything he's ever fucking been involved in. He doesn't mean it in a bad way, we know, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. Yeah. But at that time, with that choice, it's superfluous. Because even though you could have... The thing is, what happens if you tell Principal about the gun? He will suspend Nathan. He will suspend Nathan, but obviously Sean Prescott will get involved and probably overturn it. And you'll find out a lot about Nathan in the next episode, you will. That really, he shouldn't probably have been in the school to begin with. But there is no grounds on suspending Max. He's got more grounds on suspending Nathan without that. Without the party. As you'll see in the next episode. You've got grounds to expel his ass, because Sean Prescott is in charge, you're not going to. Which is a failure of Principal Welch's job. Yeah, he's on Sean's payroll, but enforce the rules. But he's quick to enforce the rules on Chloe and expel her for no reason. Well, not for no reason. Chloe had been, like, she'd been there on the disciplinary process a lot of times, and Wells had no further action. But the thing is, like I said, he only expelled her after, well, according to Before the Storm, he only expelled her because she got Rachel Amber out of trouble. So it's almost like Principal Wells wanted that to happen and throw her out. But like I said, Principal Wells rarely got in Kate Marsh's whole situation. He rarely knew about anything. So you can't blame him for Kate. I think what's weird is if you blame David without the photo, nothing really happens. Max stays on. Maybe I should have blamed David just for that. But you've got no proof of it. See? You've got no proof of that at all. You can the one thing that Principal Wells says when you blame David is, "Oh, nothing will be done without a thorough investigation." Right. So when you blame Nathan and you investigate Max's situation with the drugs, you suspend her on the spot. I mean, it just would blaming David be the right thing to do in this scenario? Would it have been the right thing to do? I'm blaming Nathan really because that's what I did in the first place. Because all the signs pointed to Nathan. And again, I bring up what I said earlier about Kate. Chloe could say the same thing and that's more heat on him. Of course, though, and with that, you've probably got the right to search his dorm as well. But again, Sean isn't going to allow that. But yeah, it's 33%, 67 told Kate to go to the police. It's like, what with? Sadly, what with? I would have loved to do that, but there was just nothing that helped. I think most of these choices are just down to curiosity or someone's second playthrough at this point. I don't think they're actually legit numbers. It's quite funny that only 16% blame Jefferson on the PC version. See if we missed anything here. Didn't water the plant because we didn't need to. Helped us rent the ways to keep video friendly with Taylor. Did the Warren's invitation, wrote a message. Tamper with the whale tracks. Gained entries before it's bloody 50-50 on that. Interesting. Helped Warren. Told on David to Mr. Jefferson. The one thing that does actually happen if you blame Mr. Jefferson is that he brings up, oh, Max told me things about David, you know? But I think David ranks higher than Jefferson on the list, so that pretty much gets David off the hook. Helping Warren is, like I said when we got there, that's to give him the favor we owed him. I wonder what will happen there, because I think he gets graded in the third episode. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually turns out. See if his grade changes, and we see it. But yeah, rant mode disengaged. But yeah, it's like, it is kind of ridiculous how that works. But anyway, so yeah, now the plot will really thicken in episode 3, and then this is where the bombshells begin as well. Like I said, it's going to continue going through the gears. We're only in probably about 2nd or 3rd gear at this point. So, you know, we're only in 2nd or 3rd gear right now. So, but yeah, I think Donard kind of messed up the ending a bit there. But, you know, at the same time, it's not really messed up because, you know, it really does prove that this game is one of those games that for 95% of the game, every small choice you make will matter in some form or other. Life is Strange was probably the first game until the ending to really showcase how one choice can affect the entire story. It's amazing, and that was one of the things I loved about it. Now I think when I finished this the first time I had to wait for episode 3, and then I played episode 3 immediately, was shocked by the end and had to wait months for it. Donut really do space out the releases of their episodes quite far apart. I think only episode 2 of the second game has come out at this point. And yeah, so by the time we actually get round to seeing it on YouTube, all the episodes might be out by then, so you'll see the entire playthrough when that happens. But yeah, man, David Madsen should no longer be an employee of Anywhere right now. But from what really happens in the game, nothing really shows what really happens at that point. So you can't make the choice that would make sense now that you know the game. And that's kind of a disadvantage of playing these games for more than one time. I've played this one so many times. I've played it on Xbox, I've played it on PlayStation, played it on PC about 2 or 3 times now. I just love this game. So there's that. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm probably talking for about half an hour ranting, but it just makes so much sense, I feel. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let's get some engagement on that. See what you guys think. I wait to hear your comments, even though I probably won't get any because my YouTube channel is small compared to a lot of people that have already played this game, and probably who's watching this game anymore, I guess, because you know Life is Strange 2's out and everything. But I don't know. Some people are still streaming it, and for the first time as well, which is quite cool actually. Alright, so you guys know the drill. You know what to expect. Episode 3 coming right up after this, I would have thought. And I'll see you then. So, until episode 3, guys, signing off until next time. You guys know what to do. Follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. I will see you next time. Peace out. Stay awesome.